Hey guys, it's me Kiana and welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title of this video, we are going to be talking about the 5 books I need to read before 2020. Now, for this is 5 books that I personally own that have been on my bookshelves for the longest, I've heard about for the longest, or that I'm so sick and tired of people saying, you should read this, that I need to hurry up and read it before 2020 starts, alright? This means from now when this video is posted in September until the end of December, I want to read these 5 books. So before I show you these 5 books, I am personally thinking I have a TBR jar. And I have very colorful little sticky notes. So I am thinking personally to write the title of these 5 books with one of my colors for my sticky notes, put them in my TBR jar. And next month, when I pick a book from my TBR jar, I also pick one of these 5 books and read. Because like I've said, either had them since for a certain amount of years. Like, I'll tell you how long I've had them when I show them. Or it's just for the fact that I've heard so many people talk about it. I want to be in, like, why people like it so much. But, yeah, that's my idea. Let's go ahead and talk about these 5 books I need to read before 2020. The first book being Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This is book 1 in the Grisha trilogy. This is the original, like, paperback edition. Now we have the new ones. And I have had this since senior year of high school. That is about 3-4 years ago. I have had this. And in this world, I really don't know what it is about. So it says, Alana Starkov doesn't expect much from life. Orphaned by the border wars, she is sure of only one thing, her best friend Mal, and her inconvenient crush on him, until the day that their army regiment enters the fold, a swarm of unnatural darkness crawling with monsters. When their convoys attack and Mal is brutally injured, Alina reveals a dormant power not even she knew existed. Ripped from everything she knows, Alina is taken to the royal court to be trained as a member of the Grisha, the magical elite led by the mysterious Darkling. With Alina's extraordinary power and his arsenal, he believes they can finally destroy the fold. Now Alina must find a way to master her untamed gift and somehow fit into her new life without Mal by her side. But nothing in this lavish world is what it seems. As the threat to the kingdom mounts and her dangerous attraction to the Darkling grows, Alina will uncover a secret that could tear her heart and her country into 2. People say you are supposed to read this, the 3 books, you know, Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, Ruin and Rising, then read 6 of Crows, Cricket Kingdoms, which I also own, but I want to read these 3 books before I read those 2 books. And then you're supposed to read King of Scars, which follows a person from the original trilogy. So no matter what, you still got to read this. I do want to read this. I got to maybe chapter 4, which is 54 pages. I made it past. I usually give myself 50 pages, and if I don't like a book, then I DNF it. But I just don't know why I never picked it up. I'm very interested in it, and I do want to read it. So hopefully I will read it like sometimes between this month and next month. The second book I recently bought. I don't remember personally right now what the book haul is, but I'll leave it somewhere on the eye. And that is Missborne by Brandon Sanderson. Everyone knows what this is. This is a very popular world that he has created because there's multiple sequels, prequels to this. And this, it just basically says, once a hero rose to save the world, he failed. For 1,000 years since, the world has been a wasteful of ash and mist ruled by the immortal empire known as the Lord Ruler. Every revolt has failed miserably. Yet somehow hope survives. Hope that dares to dream of ending the empire and defeating the Lord Ruler. A new kind of uprising is being planned. One that depends on the cunning of a brilliant criminal mastermind and the determination of an unlikely heroine, a teenage street urchin named Vin. Where a hero rose to save the world and fail, can a young heroine succeed? This is a very popular book. I love the UK editions, but personally I was not waiting 2 weeks to get them, so I ended up buying the floppy paperback US edition, and I'm actually really excited for it. A lot of people love these. I do want to read it. It's like 600 and something pages, but like, I don't know, I'm very interested in it and I do want to read it soon. The third book I have, everybody has loved it, everybody has raved it phenomenally, and that is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And this is basically about Evelyn Hugo. She gets this non-popular reporter, Monique, to come, and she basically tells Monique her life story, how she became famous, and all of that, because she is, I believe, dying very soon. A lot of people have loved it. This was last year's June. This was 2 years ago. I lied. 2 years ago, June 2017, Book of the Month pick, but it became very popular last year, so I ended up getting it like a couple months ago, and I still have not read it. But yeah, I'm very, very interested because I am now turning more into adult like romances and adult fiction. So hopefully, again, I can read that soon. Then we have this book, which I had borrowed originally from the library before I personally went out and I bought it. And when I read it from the library, I read 12 pages, determined I wanted to own it because I knew I was going to love it. But then I still haven't picked it up. And that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This follows a guy named Lazarus Strange, and he has been interested in this world called Weep. But then over the years, people start to forget about Weep, except for Lazarus Strange. And now, yep, what happened in Weep 200 years ago to cut it off from the rest of the world? What exactly did the God Slayer slay that went by the name of God? And what is the mysterious problem he now seeks help in solving? The answers await in Weep, but so do more mysteries, including the blue-skin goddess who appears in Lazarus Dream. How did he dream her before he knew she existed? And if all the gods are dead, why does she seem so real? I read Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, and I absolutely loved it, so I am familiar with her writing. So many people have loved it. The second book is already out, so the duology is finished. I just don't know why I never picked it up after I personally bought this. Someone beat me up. And then the fifth and final book I have owned literally since December of last year. December, I ended up getting a gift card from my grandfather for Christmas, and I ended up buying this book and another book, and that is Renegades by Marissa Myers. Marissa Myers is the author of the Lunar Chronicle series, and this is basically a world of heroes and villains. As it says, secret identities, extraordinary powers. She wants vengeance. He wants justice. The Renegades are a syndicated of prodigies humans with extraordinary abilities who emerge from the ruins of a crumbled society and establish peace in order where chaos resides. As champions of justice, they remain a symbol of hope and courage to everyone, except the villains they once overthrew. Nova has a reason to hate the Renegades, and she is on a mission for vengeance. As she gets closer to her target, she meets Adrian, a renegade who believes in justice and in Nova. But Nova's allegiance is to a villain who has the power to end them both. Very, very interested. This is a big boy. The second book, Arch Enemies, already came out, and Supernova, which is the third book, comes out later this year. So I want to read this, see if I like it. If I do, I will go and pick up Arch Enemies, probably read that, and then be all caught up by the time Supernova comes out. Most likely, I want to try to read this next month in October, along with Shadow and Bone, because it's like a dark book, and in October, I like really dark, witchy books. But yeah, that is all for today's video. Those are the 5 books I do want to read before 2020. I'll be leaving here 2 videos on this video you guys should go check out. I post Mondays and Thursdays, and I'll be seeing you guys really, really soon with another video. Bye, guys.